So there's a lot of miniatures people want to play in Kill Team, but we just don't have rules for. So I know one of these is Ratlings, so I homebrewed some rules for them so you can use them with the current Imperial Guard Kill Team. So this idea was brought up by the guys over at the Once Upon a Kill Team podcast. I was recently on that podcast, and if you like this kind of homebrewy narrative kind of stuff, I highly suggest you go check them out. They do an awesome podcast. I think you'll really like it. So normally I go over the lore here, but Ratlings are basically just halflings from D&D for the most part. They're sneaky, they like to steal, people don't trust them, and most of them are snipers. There's not a lot else to them, really. I'm sure there are some lore fanatics that are losing their minds, that's all I'm giving them, but I'm trying to keep it simple here. So jumping right into the rules here, basically what this is a fire team option for the Imperial Guard. So it's not its own standalone kill team, it's like a supplement to a team we already have. So this fire team will have 6 models. You'll have your standard Ratling Snipers, Rouse, and Rein, which they won't have a leader option. Typically, Imperial Guardsmen and humans in the 40k universe really don't like abhumans, and they especially don't trust Ratlings. So I thought having humans taking orders from a Ratling leader just wouldn't make sense. So Rouse and Rein are Ratling twins. They're playable in the last edition of Kill Team as well as 40k. Since they're named characters, you can only select them once. It just wouldn't make sense for there to be multiple of the same person running around. And for this, your archetypes will be Infiltration and Recon, since they are snipers. The Ratling Snipers will have your standard 6 movement and 2 APL, but they are group activation too. But their defense is not good. They have 3 defense dice, but 5 up with 5 health. If you can get a shot on one, they don't last long. But to make up for this, every one of them will have naturally sneaky, which means they aren't affected by no cover special rules, so they'll always get the benefit of cover. And if they are automatically retaining a defense dice due to cover, you increase their save by 1. So while they are squishy, they can really utilize cover when it's available. And this isn't in the rule, but they are small models, so it may be a case like Gretchen, where you can literally physically hide them behind barricades or different terrain, so you just don't have visibility on them. So they really want to utilize terrain. For your standard Ratling weapons, you have a Sniper, which is 4 attacks, 3 up, 3/4 damage, heavy, mortal wound 2. So while it's a decent weapon for how many Ratlings you get on a fire team, they're not the fastest operative out there if they actually want to use that Sniper. And this is not only based on their 40k stats, but just their small size. They don't have very good melee profiles. It's not quite as bad as something like a Gretchen I compared them to earlier, but it's not going to compete with most things in the 40k universe. I mean, they're just small humans, and this is a world of demons and aliens and orcs. They're not going to hold up. So next up we have Rein, who has 1 GA, 1 more wound, and has 1 better ballista skill on the Sniper, but also has a stub pistol to use, just in case you want to use that full movement and still need to get a shot off. So as far as base stats and weapons, not too different from standard Ratling, but the abilities are where both of the twins will really shine. Rein has the ability called Ratling Twins, which means if he performs a shooting attack on an enemy that's also visible to Rouse, it gains the no cover special rule. This is because Rouse will act as a spotter to ensure the attack is always on target. Both of the twins have the you go high, I'll go low ability, meaning you can activate them at the same time. So this acts kinda like GA2, but you can basically activate them both at the same time, meaning you can do 1 action on one, then 1 action on the other, or split it up however you want. This just helps with that spotting mechanic to know you can always get them into whatever positions, or out of whatever positions you need to. Then looking at Rouse, Rouse doesn't have a Sniper, but does have a stub pistol, and more importantly, a demolition charge. This is a grenade type weapon that has indirect and blast too, but it is limited, so it's really used to clear out groups. The other thing that Rouse has that can be really good is his grappling hook. This is just like the grappling hook of the Commando Grot, allowing for really long range movements and be able to get into key positions for either spotting or to do sneaky mission actions. Now looking at their ploys, Guardsman orders act the exact same way on Ratlings as they do everybody else. but they do have one unique order. This is Ratlings Prepare to Fire, and basically it takes away all negatives through their Ballista skill for things like Injured or Overwatch. Then there are also 2 new tactical ploys with this fire team. First is Shoot, Sharp, and Scamper. I had to do that take like 5 times, by the way. I don't know why that was such a tongue twister. Now I'm just going to be messing up everything for the rest of this video, so doubling my edit time. So this ability means after a Ratling shoots, it can perform a dash action outside of its activation. Since all snipers have the heavy trait, this can provide some much needed movement. And finally, there's Find the Best Spot, which basically means a deeper deployment. Since Ratlings are so terrain and positioning dependent, this can help dig you into a key area to secure a lane of fire. And now we'll look at equipment. They can use standard Imperial Guard equipment here. The first new rule here is stolen goods. Since Ratlings love to steal everything they can find, one piece of equipment you put on a Ratling will cost 2 equipment points less because they stole it. This can only apply to one piece of equipment, obviously. Then there is Non-Regulation Blade. Since Ratlings don't care about the rules, this is a better melee weapon they snuck into battle. And they have Sniper's Cloak. You can only take one and it's pretty expensive at 4 EP, but it gives them the ability to change between engage and conceal orders on the fly. So you can really take advantage of that long range firepower. Alright, so the download for this PDF is in the description, just a free Google document. So feel free to download it and let me know what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.